All right. Welcome, everyone, to another great episode of Our Parents' Basement. I am so excited to be here. It has been a long week, and, every Thursday I look forward to doing this podcast. So thank you for joining us, and yeah, it should be a fun show. I am Philip. I'll be hosting for the evening, and with me we have my two usual favorite folks. The first is Charles. Charles, there you are. How's it going tonight?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Not looking forward to this weekend.
Why? What's this weekend?
Lollapalooza.
Oh, so that's gonna be a crowded Chicago.
Yeah, and
scene.
I work a block away from it.
Oh man.
So I'll have these like drunk and drugged out like 13-year-olds wandering around with glitter all over their chest.
Be careful what you're looking at on 13-year-olds.
Yeah,
that was oddly specific.
Huh?
Yeah.
That was oddly specific.
I don't know how these kids are.
I don't know how they're drinking at such a young age. My God.
I don't know. They're already drugged out.
Bless their hearts. Well, Charles, we will wish you well with that, but I have faith in you that you can handle yourself with those idiots. But yes, either way, welcome. Glad to have you along. And of course, we also got Turf. His real name is Jason, but I call him Turf. And Turf, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Do you realize that you start every show with "all right"? You have a catchphrase. I don't know if you knew it or not, but you can go back, maybe not every, but the vast majority of Our Parents' Basement episodes start with "all right."
I never noticed that, but I kind of like it now that I have my own thing going on.
Yeah, you didn't mean to. I think we need to have it on the T-shirt. Just "all right."
Right.
So it's just not let Matthew McConaughey know.
Oh yeah, you've already got it. Matthew McConaughey stole that one from yours. I'd say he got the lead on it. All right.
He does it 3 times. I say it once, and he can't really act.
Yours is like 4 L's in it. It's like all right.
It's like a long A, and then the right, and I'm gonna work on that so I can separate myself from Matthew McConaughey.
Hey,
what's his nuts? Yeah, him.
Matthew McConaughey. I don't know.
Matthew McConaughey, girl, hey. Oh man, we've already got it. Yeah. Anyways,
you know what I like about high school girls?
What's that?
I get older and they stay the same age. All right.
Is that from one of his movies?
That's
actually,
Dazed and Confused.
Okay, I was like, wow, Turf, that was really good.
Our show is starting off really nice today.
Yeah. I mean,
literally high school girl chess, high school girls.
Yeah, I just want to have an official stance. Our Parents' Basement is against statutory rape.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh yeah.
Stance.
Yeah, even if in the states like Mississippi where it's like a younger age consent, we're still against it. So.
And how do you know that?
I got a friend who's from Mississippi, and he done told me things.
He done learn things the hard way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Boy Scouts. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, Turf and Charles, welcome to the both of you.
Hold on. Do you remember the
what's up?
What was it? The dadgummit. What's the guy who's on 30? Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
he was on Saturday Night Live, and he was like the scout leader.
Yes.
Canteen boy.
No, what's that?
Makes for good back rubs. He was like the scoutmaster, and Adam Sandler was Canteen Boy.
Oh, jeez.
You don't remember? Oh, you need to Google that one.
Was that like
on the YouTubes?
That like 90s SNL, like mid 90s?
Oh, yeah.
That's when
about 1994.
Oh, good year for that show. That was good times. All right, I'll have to look at that. It sounds
Canteen Boy.
all kinds of wrong, but
oh god. And with that, we're on to a roaring start.
We are, and
start.
I want to welcome both of you. So thanks for joining us. Who's ever listening live, by the way, thank you for that. And let's just get into it. So when we were talking
about it that way.
Let's get into it like that. Well, I mean, you said something about being rapists. Get into it.
Get into it.
I apologize if this is someone's first time listening to Our Parents' Basement.
It doesn't get any better. This is pretty much it. This is what you're going to listen to.
This is the apex of it. So don't set the bar too high. But So Charles and Turf and I were talking earlier in the week about what we can talk about for tonight's episode. And I just threw a random idea out there. We at Our Parents' Basement, we are a group of gamers, first and foremost. Yeah, we like other aspects of nerd culture, and we like things outside of nerd culture. But, we are gamers, through and through. And we thought, how cool would it be if we were able to design our own perfect video game? I think anyone who's a gamer has this thought at some point, like, man, if I were able to, or if I were king for a day, or if I had the know-how, I would make my own personal video game that's catered to my tastes and needs, and it would be made just for me. I mean, yeah, other people can play it, but it'd be perfect for me. So we thought, let's discuss what would make our perfect game. And then later in the show, we each decided on one title that actually is already an actual video game that comes close to that perfect game design. And a little bit of a warning, when I picked out my game that was close to my imaginary perfect game, it's not one of my, I'd say it's in my top 30. It's not my favorite game. It's definitely not in my top 3 or top 10, but based on what I wrote and my criteria, it wasn't as high up on the favorite list as I thought it would be. So that was pretty interesting. So, Charles, do you want to start? Would you like me to start? How would you like this to go?
I guess I could go first.
All right, go ahead.
For like what my perfect games, if I would design it, how these, this is going on to like what I picked up for my perfect game, which okay. These open worlds, you get to explore, and like a lot of these open worlds are not, fully open. You can't pick up and grab everything you need. I'd pick make a game where you can, move everything around and go anywhere in the game. Some of these games they have these doors, you purposely can't go in because it's not part of the game. I see these doors. I want to go in that door. I want to see what's in there. And just be able to build and construct stuff. MacGyver stuff up together of everything I find, even though maybe. Not really relevant at the time, but you just build stuff to, try to, make your own things that, maybe that the game is not really designed to do, or, as they are now, but you just construct your own things and do the stuff your own way instead of having the games point out, you got to go this way, and have it go in that, that game could take, hours and hours and hours and days and months to complete. A game like that where you could actually build it your own way and using your own knowledge to progress in the game.
So, like say like one part of the game takes you to a room, and this room has like multiple windows and doors. You want to explore each one of those just in your own on your own time, see what's inside, that sort of thing.
He wants to go from the windows to the walls. So the sweat drips down my.
To all these crawl. Mother. We won't say that word. God damn.
Sorry. From the windows to the walls.
Let me see you get.
Sorry,
who's scared? But anyways, yes. So.
But
back to like 2005 there.
But the game will be have actual real physics put into it. So.
Yeah.
Anything
so when
you
the sweat
build,
drips down your balls.
dripping down your balls. So yeah, you could build anything, and actual takes into account for weight and all that stuff, so it can resemble real life. So
I like it.
So let me think here. Let me ask you this: will the game have like an end point, or
it'll have an end point? You have to work to that point, in the best way you think is possible, not way. The game says this is the only way you can go. This is the only path you can go. To have it, to be, real open world.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you go into people that got stairs blocked of shit. I want to be able to move that shit, go beyond that shit, because they put that stuff there for a reason. If someone's in that house and they block that stuff, so there's probably some good shit up there that you can get to.
I'll tell you what, and this is kind of leaning towards one of the maybe a real game that would kind of fit this bill.
Yeah.
If you play Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's exactly like that. If you can see it, you can go in it, you can go to it, you can all that noise. If there's a door, you can open it. If you can, the background has a mountain off in it, you can go to that mountain eventually. I mean, it takes a long walk and it'll take you a long time to get there, but you can go to that mountain. So that's kind of starting to be done. I mean, they'll be as big of a hit as Breath of the Wild was. You'll definitely see more games emulate that in the future.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And the other thing I was thinking, I also have the AI characters in there, the non-playable characters who are your adversaries. Have them actually, start to, realize more stuff instead of just being programmed. Walk here. Have them be more cognizant of what's going on. So
they kind of adapt to your play style, and you gotta keep on outwitting them.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing a multiplayer game with actually a real player, but it's actually in the game. They're actually cognizant of what's going on. Like if you played like some multiplayer games, you just play it on offline. You have your people you're playing against would be normal people. They're kind of dumb.
Have y'all ever? Do you remember the jump from like regular first-person shooters like Doom and maybe not Doom? Anyways, when they jumped to Halo, it was like Combat Evolved, and like the AI in that game would form strategies to try to kill you. And yeah, it was Xbox. It was a little limited compared to what we have now, but at the time, it was such a huge leap forward that the enemies had actual AI. They weren't just following a preset path. They were trying to surround you and trying to kill you. So, I mean, that's what you kind of, and I'm just throwing things out here that might be little glimpses of what you're talking about. What things that have been done that can be built on and make, maybe put all these pieces together and make a whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That would be a fun game for me.
All right, cool.
Where I actually get to think and how to get through this.
How long would this, your brain can only handle so much, pressure. How long would this game last? Is it a long campaign or quick 5 to 10 hour one? Or
I figure you could have different difficulty levels in there. One that could be 5 to 10 hours, or one that could be that could take a month to go through.
Sure.
But if going at it, like 4 or 5 hours a day, just trying to figure out how to get through all this stuff in it.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, that sounds like a really fun idea. All that you described.
All right. Anything else, Charles?
That's about it.
All right.
Something you brought up in that made me think. What was is it Dead Island? Was that the one where you're a zombie on an island? Is that right? Or you're not a zombie. You're like trapped. Like you're on a resort. And I have it for 360. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Dead Island. Like the sequel is called Riptide or something like that. Anyways, you're like at a resort, and then the zombie apocalypse breaks out. It was back, 5 or 6 years ago when everything was zombies. So it was you're on a resort, a zombie apocalypse breaks out, and you have to use stuff that you find to make, you find a baseball bat and hook a saw blade up to it. So you've got it's cutting and bludgeoning power. And you just find like trash and put it together and you make weapons and stuff.
I know. Yeah, there's Dead something. It came out for 360 as well. Like
PS3 and yeah.
Oh man, what was that from Capcom?
I want to say it's Dead Island.
Shoot,
yes, it is. It is Dead Island.
Was there anything before that though? Like that had?
Well, I mean, there was like Left 4 Dead. Is very very similar.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Either way, yeah, I've seen stuff like that where you just like find junk and combine it and use whatever you want.
Wires and so many wires and batteries. You can make your your machete electrified.
Yeah,
it was neat. It was a neat concept, and it was the first game that I played like that. That you could find the junk and you could put it together and make there's pretty much limitless weapons you could make, and 2 different degrees of effectiveness.
Cool, very cool.
Okay,
all right. Well, Charles, that was really cool. I would play it. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. So, and I guess I can go next unless you have some more to add to it.
That's about it.
All right. Well, mine's pretty quick, and I think you guys already know what's going to be an RPG. Of course. But I want something that is simple. I want an RPG with simple turn-based combat, something like Chrono Trigger or an old school Final Fantasy.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, yes. I want simple leveling. I want, just normal stat growth. I don't want any of this convoluted, complex bullcrap that you have to, use all these items to become stronger and then go to this shrine to upgrade this and go to this temple to upgrade that. I just want normal, good old-fashioned leveling up. I want good characters. I want the characters to be well written. I want a story that is. It doesn't necessarily have to be like anything groundbreaking, but and if it's a typical save the world cliche plot, that's fine too. As long as the writing is good, I am I'm open. I'm on board for it. I want to be able to save my game anywhere. That is so. I can't stress how important that would be for a game like this, and how much back in the Super Nintendo days, I wished that man, I would really love to have a save point right about now, but you get to save at save spots.
So those save points will let you know something was about to happen. If you hit the save point, you better whoop out the tent so everybody can be healed.
The tent, the shelter, whatever. But sometimes you were like a good few rooms away from one, and it was dinner time, and your parents were kept on calling you to come upstairs from the basement because the food was getting cold. So yeah, save anywhere. As far as presentation goes, I want it to be that good old-fashioned 2D sprites and that top-down perspective, something like Wild Arms or Chrono Trigger or Breath of Fire or Final Fantasy, something like that. I want some catchy music. It's not do or die, but the music is very important. I don't care if there's voice acting, but the music needs to be fun. And last but not least, I don't want it to be too long. I want it to be anywhere between 25 and 30 hours. And for an RPG, that's may sound a little short, but
the fanboys will be hollering.
Yeah. So,
it's a
but
RPG.
You what?
A 2-minute RPG.
Yeah. But I want to have like a new game plus option. So if you do want to play it again, you can just hit the new game plus and just blaze right through it. And I also have some side content that you can access. But who wants to really spend 60 to 80 hours nowadays? Not that we're working adults on the same thing,
I'm with you.
Yeah. And that about covers it. So that's basically what my perfect game would be.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm going to tell you about my. If you're done, are you done?
I am done. It's your turn.
Okay, I'll jump off in here. My perfect game. I just got a few things scrawled out here that I might like. I'm with you. I want it shorter. I don't want a game because I have a tendency once I get past about 20 hours for the main story.
Yeah,
you're losing me. I'm done. I've got so many games. I can't even tell you the last time I finished a game. It would have been Diablo 3 would have been the last game that I finished from start to finish. That was too many finishes that I completed from start to finish. How about that? I want that new game plus option. I'm piggybacking on you here because Chrono Trigger had that, and it was so cool to go back and play through the game, and you could do everything and not have to worry about finding all the weapons or finding all the you didn't have to grind.
Yeah,
you were already built up. You could just power through and enjoy the story. So I mean that gives the game a lot of replay value, in my opinion. And I want an engaging story. I love Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, because it's a Star Wars game set away from everything else. So it can't. Maybe it's canon, maybe it's not, but it doesn't cross any other path, so it doesn't matter. I like I would love a Star Wars game, an engaging Star Wars game set away from. It doesn't have to be in the timeline of between Phantom Menace and Episode 9. I just want it off, 2,000 years beforehand on another planet that nobody's mentioned before, but it's in that same universe.
So is your game a Star Wars game?
Yes,
okay, gotcha.
It's a Star Wars game. It's like Knights of the Old Republic was a Star Wars game, but it didn't cross paths with anything else. You had Jedi, you had Sith, and you had lightsabers, and you had the alien races that showed up, but you didn't have Han Solo, Luke, Leia. None of those people showed up. So,
gotcha.
And none of the events that were in the movie showed up. It was just its own story off by itself. That's important because it gives you a lot of free reign.
Yeah.
You don't have to fit inside any constraints at all. You can just make a story about Darth Underballs and how evil he is. I'm horrible at naming characters, so there you go. We got that engaging story. I want side quests. I want lots of options. Grand Theft Auto 5 did this really well. They have a main story, and then they've got endless side quests that you can do. You can spend 20 hours, well, probably 40 hours on that game, or you can spend 500 hours on that game.
Oh, damn.
However you want to play it. Well, I mean, people spend, if you wanted to do everything, it's huge. It's a huge game with just endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Like people get online and play it. They're playing golf. They built golf courses in Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, like I played tennis on the game. You can play tennis on there I got stuck playing that for a few hours.
That's sport.
Probably an hour. You can bowl on the game. You can play. You can go to movies. You can go to the old titty bar in the game. You
might like Yakuza too.
What's that?
You might like the Yakuza series too, because you could do all that stuff and only it's in Japan.
I like the option of doing that, and I like the another game that I really enjoyed was Diablo 3. It has lots of side quests you can do. You can go, you can play the main story and go do exactly what you're supposed to be doing, or you can go save this character. You can go over here and find this treasure. You can go off to this and put this spirit to rest, or whatever you want to do. You don't have to, but there's plenty of options to keep you busy, and it never got stale. So lots of side quests. We want optional stuff that we can do if we want to. We stumble across it, cool. If we don't do it, the main quest is still there.
Okay.
I want level progression. I want my character to physically level up. A game that I thought did this really well, and it was I'm going to say it's like a Xbox 360 gem, PS3 gem, is Dante's Inferno.
Oh, I played that a long time ago.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was a noticeable, as you killed characters and spent the points and stuff, there was a noticeable progression in the power of your character. And I like that. And a lot of games do that, but that's the one that came to mind that I thought it did really well.
Mm-hmm.
You leveled up your magic / range attack, or you leveled up your giant scythe, which was stolen from death because apparently Dante was way more badass. Yeah.
That's why.
That dude was gangster. It's like,
then you fought old tongue titties.
That's right. Old tongue titties.
I saw those and was like, wow, those are tongues coming out of your breasts. Fascinating.
That was weird. That game was so weird. they like took the poem, I guess Dante.
The Divine Comedy?
Inferno.
Is that it?
Yeah, the Divine Comedy.
Yeah.
And well, let's see, it's Inferno, and then the Purgatory part, and there's another name for the other part of it in the Divine Comedy. Anyways, they took that and made it really gruesome with like aborted babies and stuff. It was
like there's diarrhea and vomit in one of the stages. I'm like, okay, come on, guys. So
yeah. Well, the little demon babies were like, that's rough. But I mean, that's there. So that was one of the circles of hell. One of the early circles.
Well, minor spoiler alert, Dante gets like totally naked. And I was like, hell yeah, about damn time a dude gets naked. So anyways.
So we've got the actual physical level progression. The character gets stronger. I like that. And another thing I want is skill progression. And I'm not talking about skills like your stamina goes up or your lock picking ability or anything like that. I'm talking about like when you play Mega Man. Yeah. When you play the first level of Mega Man, you suck. But by the time you get to the end of the game, you can go back and play whichever Robot Master you fought first and blow through it, because you've actually, the player has gotten better, and I like that. I like actual skill. You're learning skills at your fingertips. So that's another one that's another attribute to a game that I really like.
Okay,
that I would like to see in my perfect game. And these are kind of abstract thoughts. When I first started thinking about this, I was maybe not abstract, but to another side thoughts. When I first thought about this, like, well, what do I want to be, first person or third person? Or do I want it to be, top down? Do I want it to be a dungeon crawler? What do I want the game to look like? I kind of settled on, I want 2D elements and third person elements in the game. Yeah, it's going to be odd.
Yeah. Like, how's this going to work?
I don't know.
But this is your game, so who cares how it works?
It's an experiment. This is an experiment of the mind. So
yes.
I want the like different perspectives. I don't necessarily want. Maybe if you wanted to do first person, the thing that they did on like Battlefront, where you could go either third person or zoom in and go first person. I think some of the Call of Duties did that. Not so much. I'm not. Maybe if you want to do it, okay. But I want some sure enough different types of gameplay in the game, like Guardian Legend, I believe is what it was. The part of it is a shooter, and part of it is a top down. Go around like you're inside the spaceship shooting stuff. So that varied gameplay I think is really cool. I think it adds a lot to a game, and if you do both sides well, it makes for an even better game, because most games that do stuff like that have different kinds of gameplay, like Bayou Billy, it is a beat 'em up, it is a driving game, it is a shooting game, and all three of them suck. But all together, the game's like, hey, this is kind of neat. I see what they tried. All of them suck, but the sum of the parts is not. It's not good, but it's definitely better than each part. So
it's different.
Yeah, the whole is more than the sum of the parts. It's definitely different. So I mean, I think if we put varying gameplay in here, different styles. I want some of that. I want the third person 3D style. I want some 2D elements, even if it's just like it's zoomed out. What game was it that did? Was it? It wasn't Dante's Inferno that did that. That was God of War did that. It zoomed out and did some like 2D stuff that was just for the wall climbing. It was only 2-dimensional. There wasn't any depth to it. But if you could do that, except for I wanted to make Mega Man, I want to be Jump and Shoot Man or Jump and Slice Man or something like that for I don't know. I think that'd be neat. Just to have some stages or some areas that would be like that. Kind of maybe like Blaster Master, for the NES was a platformer where you were in the tank and then you got out of the tank and went in the little rooms. It was top down. Kind of the same type of deal.
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
When you get inside of a temple or you get inside of something, you get inside of an area, it turns into the 2D platformer. I think that would be neat. I just think that would be, it'd speak to me anyhow. And this is a biggie. And we'll talk about this in a little bit. I want continued support for my game. I want it to be a big enough game that, like Grand Theft Auto 5, they give away free additions to that game constantly. I think there's a free one coming out this weekend. It's like, hey, we got some new cars. We're going to roll those out to Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar is just, it's been out for what, 2 years, 3 years, something like that. And they're still rolling out new content for Grand Theft Auto 5. So
did not know that.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool, and it's free, and they just want you to keep playing the game and buying the game. And of course they sell like in-game currency, and they sell, so I mean, they're still making money, but you can make money without buying the currency. That's just the shortcuts. So anyways, that's they're still making money by supporting, keeping people enthralled in it. So there's my perfect game. It's going to have a lot of different types of gameplay, and it may be a complete flop. Who knows?
It'll be the best game ever.
It'll be your game of the year.
Did either one of y'all ever play Jedi Power Battles? I think that was the one that was a PlayStation game.
The Masters of Terras Kasi.
No. That was the fighting game.
Okay, then no.
No, okay. Jedi Power Battles was kind of episode 1 type, but it was a run and jump, and it's like platforming with lightsabers.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
It is actually overlooked gem on the PlayStation, I think. So I think it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I have it for Dreamcast as well.
Oh, it came on the Dreamcast too. Okay, cool.
So it would have been on PS2. Maybe I don't know. It was on Dreamcast. That's what I have it for. So
right on.
Anyways, that's some cool ideas, man.
Yeah, both of you had really pretty cool ideas. I feel kind of basic right now, but that's okay. Well, then let me ask you both this. Is there a game, this kind of transitioning to part 2, is there a game already in existence that kind of almost 100% fits that mold of that imaginary game that would make, is there something out there that's close to your perfection title at all?
I've got one, and I've got one. Charles, you've been kind of quiet.
Yeah,
Tell me what you got, man.
I kind of, I would say, like The Last of Us on the PlayStation.
I was gonna suggest that.
This game.
Yeah.
It's got that almost, open world thing, but I wish it would be more open world.
Mm-hmm.
I just keep on playing it, so trying to get that platinum trophy.
Oh, join Platinum Club. That's what I'm talking about.
Platinum.
But two of those things are multiplayer things. Those multiplayer things are hard to do. So
they're hard to
get though. They gotta complete the 40 days.
Okay.
In the game, about losing my whole population, which I've made.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds hard.
Yeah, I've been close. And when you lose it, you got to start all over again. But
oh man,
yeah, and this game, it's kind of obvious which path you got to go through.
Right.
You go through thing, and you see these little yellow caution tapes blowing, and went, "Oh, I think I'm going this way." And you walk up to this door; it's got a big red X. I think this door is something I should open.
Okay.
So, but other than that, everything's all. The path is all marked out for you.
Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking The Last of Us when you were like describing you want to go into this door that's already blocked off, or check out that closet or something. And I never played Last of Us, but just based on the screenshots, it seemed like there's like some really detailed environments that you're really not quite able to
utilize.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's coat hangers. I could do stuff.
What was that?
Hangers. Like, there's coat hangers in the closet. I could take the coat hangers and do stuff with the coat hangers.
Yeah, you could stab a bitch's eye out with them or something.
You can abort a child.
Bro.
That got dark.
Bro. Oh, man. But if what Turf is saying is true about the new Legend of Zelda, then that might be worth checking out whenever you get yourself a Switch or a Wii U.
One of these days.
One of these days.
Gotta pay for that college tuition and books right now.
Yeah, I was saying, other priorities to worry about. So.
And that crippling education addiction you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get out of 21 years of retail.
Well, when I was going through my list of imaginary game criteria, I was thinking of like what has all of that, and I couldn't find one game at all, but I did find one that was pretty close. It's for the Sega Saturn, and it's actually the first Sega Saturn game I ever purchased. This was years ago. It has a stupid name. It's called Albert Odyssey, Legend of Eldian. I mean, Albert is such a non-heroic, fantastical name. When I think of Albert, I think of, Bill Cosby's Fed Albert or that right there on cue. Or I think of just some fry cook. I don't know. But that being said, silly name aside, it has everything except the ability to save anywhere. Everything else I listed, though, Albert Odyssey's got it. And when I was going through my notes, saying, okay, it needs to have this, and this, and I looked at Albert Odyssey, I was like, I should replay that game again, just because it sounds like something I would create. Of course, I would add it also doesn't have New Game Plus, so that's two things it's missing. Other than that, yeah, it's got everything I was looking for. So yeah, that's the closest thing I could find.
All right.
What about you, Turf?
All right. Well, I tell you what. When I was looking around for a game that might actually, it came to me real quick. I was like, the perfect game. It's out there. Now, I have some honorable mentions before I get to mine. And one of them is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And that was because the first thing I thought of is I wanted that Star Wars story away from everything. And that's exactly what it gave me. And I like the decision making. I like the progression. I like the you didn't really get the skill progression, but you definitely got the level progression. You got more powers and things like that. Things that I was looking for. Lots of side quests. It's cool. It's just a fun. It's a fun game. That'd be in the same thing as it's a fun game. And then I thought Grand Theft Auto 5. It's whether you're a Grand Theft Auto fan or not, you have to admit this game it's got excellent graphics. It has a very engaging story.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on forever. Lots of side quests, lots of the main stories, plenty long, but it's not too long that you won't finish it unless the Switch comes out. Then you put the game on the shelf and never turn it back on. True story. But then I got to the one that I really, really dug. And you might think this is a little simple for this taste, but it was Shovel Knight. I'm pretty sure Shovel Knight is the perfect game, and I've got facts to back this up.
I love Shovel Knight, but I'm interested in seeing if it fills all those criteria.
Well, okay.
That you listed.
It has timeless graphics.
Oh yes, sure.
It will never look outdated because it's that sprite design. It's meant to look old, so it's like retro futuristic. That's like the word they call for like in Star Wars is retro futuristic. It's what we thought the future was going to look like. So it has those timeless graphics. It's not ever going to get outdated. They're constantly adding new content. They've added the third full game to Shovel. They have Shovel Knight. They had the Plague Knight quest, and then they've got I believe it's King's Knight. They have
King's one now too.
They came out with a third one.
That is awesome.
I believe that's what it is. And then they have if you got the Shovel Knight amiibo, it added Shield Knight to as a playable
you got Shield Knight? That's badass.
So they've steadily added content to this game. It's been out since 2014 or something like that.
Oof, it's been a while. I got my copy last year though. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And they're adding that new content for free. So if you have Shovel Knight for the Wii U, you can download Plague Knight. You can download King's Knight for free. It's just part of the game. It's like a thank you for following this.
Yeah.
All right. It's challenging. It's challenging without being just crazy hard.
Without being a dick about it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's not being a dick about it. You get that sense of accomplishment when you finish something. Yeah, there's moments that are frustrating, but they're all doable. And if anything goes wrong, it's your fault. It's not the game's fault. It's not a lack of controls or anything like that. It is your fault, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. The controls are tight. They're good.
The Shovel Knight story it's weak. It's loose at best, but it's like, the 16-bit platformer. We didn't need a whole lot of story. We just needed to save the day, and there were some bad guys in the way.
Exactly.
But it has humor. It's ridiculous, but it knows it's ridiculous. So that's cool. I like that as long as if it's kind of pokes fun of itself a little bit. I don't like that. Yeah,
the writing was always enjoyable. I mean,
exactly.
But again, you could overlook it if you just want to play the game.
Yeah, you could hit A going through everything and just know you had to go to the next thing and beat it.
Yep.
You would be fine. Your skills progressed. The character progressed as you went through. You gained new abilities. Plus, you progressed. The player skills increased as you went on, just like I was talking about. It was exactly what I wanted. It has super tight controls that will never get old. It's just a joy to play. The music fits, everything fits, and then on top of everything else, it's fun. It's not too long.
Oh yeah!
Like once you get done with it, you can turn around and play it again. Mm-hmm. It's just fun, and I've played through it 3 or 4 times. So I think that, and this may be a controversial statement, people. Controversy creates cash here on the OPB podcast. Shovel Knight is the perfect game. How y'all like that?
Like last week when my power was out, we went to a local coffee shop just to get out of the heat and chill for a bit while I wait for the power to get back on. I brought my Vita along, and you know what game I brought along with it? Shovel Knight.
Attaboy.
So, I mean, this goes to show you, it's perfect for just quick pick up and play sessions. I mean, yeah, you can go through the whole game if you wanted to in one sitting. But if you just want to play a stage here or, just dick around there, it's perfect for that too.
If you wanted to play a stage for a week or play one stage a week, it'd last you 8 weeks or whatever. And you could be okay with that because it's not going to be, you're not going to miss much. You're not going to forget what's going on. You're start at the left, move to the right. That's all you're going to do. Mm-hmm. It's a simple game, but your skills are going to progress. Or you can sit down and you can play it all at once. It probably wouldn't take maybe 3 hours to play from beginning to end.
Yeah,
maybe.
For a first time, maybe a little bit longer, depending on how much you want to do.
Yeah,
but once you get the swing of it,
the first time you're definitely going to die a lot. So,
and for those who like achievements or trophies or whatever, there's a lot of like challenges you can do to extend the game time even more. Like there's like one challenge where you have to go through, I think, the entire game without dying. You can get hit, but you can't die. So there's that challenge. There's a speed run challenge you have to do, and some of the speed runs I've seen online, they are just insane. It's like they got it down to a science. It's ridiculous. And they keep on adding new content. I knew there was Plague Night. I did not know there was the King's Night. That's cool. So
absolutely, man. I believe it could possibly be the perfect game. The way that it's been handled, the way that how it comes across, the pick up and play, that maybe not ease of play, but the challenge and the tight controls, easy to learn controls. If you played games ever before, it's fun. It's just fun.
Yep, exactly. Good choice. Very good choice. Yeah, I had some runner-ups too. I had Chrono Trigger as a perfect game, but again, you can't save anywhere. And I had Secret of Mana, but you can't save anywhere, and it's not standard turn-based stuff. Charles, did you have any runner-up games for
for my perfect game? Not really. I think other perfect games, that weren't going for perfect game. I would make. I would say Mario Brothers 3 would be a perfect game.
Oh,
yeah. I'm not going to argue with you on that one. There's
games in general.
That is a game that there's no downside. Sure, there's things I'm sure somebody can gripe about, but I can't think of anything you can gripe about in that game. There's no just super annoying parts to it.
You know that giant shoe that you can hop in?
Oh, that little sleeping bag looking thing?
Oh, what's it called? The Kerboot? Starts with a K.
Yeah, the K shoe for now.
The cashew shoe.
The cashew?
Thank you. There's only one stage where you can use that. That's kind of a bummer. I wanted to see more of that.
Right. Well, okay, it left you wanting more. So that is a little bit of a bummer, but it's still that was a cool thing that they added in later games.
Heroku shoe. It's some Japanese sounding name. But yeah, so maybe some more of that, some more variety. I mean, yeah, the leaf and the Tanuki suit and the frog suit kind of got old after the 20th time going through the game.
Kurobo shoe.
Thank you. Piggybacking off of that, Super Mario World to Super Nintendo.
That's
my
favorite games of all time.
Nothing I can think of right now that I want to change about it. So maybe easier flight controls with the cape, but that's about it.
Well,
I like the challenging flight controls for that cape just because it made you get good.
Yeah.
There's one level to unlock Soda Lake. And I've played the game once or twice. You had to, I think it's on the Butter Bridge is actually the one you have to go under the goal and then come back up on the other side.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it took me a long time to figure that out. But once I did, I had that sense of accomplishment, man. It wasn't like crazy difficult. It was just, you had to get it just right. And then you went on, you got the moon and you opened up the new level and you had to do that to get all 97 exits.
That brings back memories. I never accomplished it myself, but I've seen someone do it for me, or maybe I was at a friend's house doing. Either way, I know what part you're talking about, exactly.
In the last 6 months, I've played through that game all the way. I sat down in a weekend and played all the way through it. Got every exit.
Nice.
I'm not too proud to say that I did have to look up when you get into the Cocoa Mountains or whatever it's called there towards the end. It's like the 7th level right before you go to see Bowser's lair. I had to use the old YouTubes to get all the exits.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Then what the Force of Illusion is
That's fun, man. When I was a kid, I prided myself in being able to know all the exits in Force of Illusion, and I still have to play a little bit through it to
remember
find them all, to remember them all. Like there was a lot that would send you in loops, and there's a whole bunch of exits there. It was, man, it's so much fun.
Remember me and my buddy
Good one.
got all 96 exits into the star. That was.
Is that what it is? 96.
I think it's 96 in the star, 97 in the star. I don't remember. That game is still saved. The battery's still holding up to this day.
Awesome.
So far.
And the game still looks good. It sounds great.
Well, it falls under those timeless graphics, Those sprite-based graphics. They're pretty, and they're not too pixelated. Like when you got into polygons, everything backed up and started all over. And that Force 3D of Final Fantasy VII can kiss my ass.
As much as I love games like FF7 and Panzer Dragoon Saga, those jaggedy graphics, those jaggedy-ass graphics, I tell you what, I take 2D any day.
How about the like you're playing Tomb Raider, the very first Tomb Raider, and her pointy boobs, and like we got like Lara Croft, like she was so hot, dude. She was like 7 triangles put together.
Yeah, I don't know why young gamers put her in their spank banks, but I did not get it one bit. I was like,
that's probably all those kids could get back then. Us as kids.
Hey man, it took a little bit of imagination,
A little bit, girl.
Okay, it was just like 3D, and she had like, man, she's got huge cans.
They're pointing right at me.
It must be really, really cold.
You remember that commercial for the original Xbox, and like these two guys are saying, "Yeah, I like it because of the high processing power, and I like this. I like it because of the great sound." And then like they show a clip of this game Dead or Alive 3, and this girl does a high kick, and the guy's like, she kicks high. Do you remember that?
I don't, but that's hilarious.
Oh man, that's just reminded me of that.
Wasn't Dead or Alive beach volleyball?
Oh geez, that game's not. I don't mind that game's risque. That game's just not fun. Like it has shitty controls and it's just bad.
The camera probably works better than the actual volleyball.
Yeah, the jiggle physics work better than the actual playing of volleyball.
I'll tell you what, if you ever need an obscure gem, and I don't think it was on like PlayStation 2 as well, but on the original Xbox, and I believe it was on GameCube as well, the Outlaw Golf series. It was a golf game that was so ridiculous. Like you were one of the characters, and it was the one that I always played with because I was a young man in college. Her name was either Autumn or Summer. Like Autumn was the player, and then maybe Summer was the player, and Autumn was her caddy. Okay. Or maybe it was Autumn was the player and Summer was the caddy. Anyways, it was 2 strippers that were. No, I'm not even joking. Like everybody has their own persona. There's like a biker and whatever.
This was great.
Anyway, and then when you if you started hitting bad shots, your temper would get whatever. And then when you got, you're going to blow your top, you could beat the piss out of your caddy. And like, it was like a little mini game of you beating the brakes off of them. And then you would get your concentration back. It's stupid fun, but what made me think of that is there's Outlaw Golf, Outlaw Volleyball, and Outlaw Tennis is the other one.
Oh man.
They took these games and made they're normal, normal outside sports games and made them weird and risque like they would be in the early 2000s. It was a blast. The Outlaw Golf I played the hell out of. And you would be playing like on like not nice courses. It would you'd have to hit it under the overpass. No, I mean it was like a real golf course. It wasn't really the junkyard, but it would be like you were right next to the trailer park, or you had to hit it under the overpass or over you had to choose the club to go under or over the overpass. Just
funny,
stupid stuff like that. It was a lot of fun.
I like how they take preppy, very conservative sports like golf and tennis, and then just turn it into beating the shit out of their caddies or something. So with Autumn and Summer, did she bitch slap her or what?
Oh, it started off with like a backhand or there was a front hand, a backhand. Then she had her by the hair, throwing her down. I mean, it wasn't just like a few little slaps. She beat the brakes off that girl.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That was hilarious.
Oh my goodness! Wow, something else to look into. I'm trying to think of other games that could be that perfect title, but you just distracted me with Autumn beating the hell out of Summer.
That really was not a perfect title at all. It was just.
It sounds like it's far from it, but
we were talking about the Xbox and the jiggle physics, and then thought about that, and that's funny.
Yep. Well, I mean, let me think here. We have some time left. You guys have any more thoughts about this topic that we've been discussing since we started?
Excuse me.
First of all, you all right? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I ran out of water, and I got a little tickle in my throat.
All righty.
Let's see. I'm talking more about Outlaw Golf because everybody needs to play this because I enjoy it so much. All right, you have Summer. She was a scientist / stripper. I guess she was working her way through college.
That's a familiar story. I like that.
Ice Tray, the failed rapper.
Ice Tray.
Yeah, Ice Tray. Yeah, Harley, he's the biker.
Of course.
And Suave, a man's man with great hair. Donna, the New Jersey disco clubber. Excuse me. Clem, the inbred redneck. Trixie, the pampered socialite. And Harvest, a violent hippie. So
I'd probably play as Trixie. Most likely, yeah.
I would go back to Summer every time just because the strippers are funny and kind of dumb, and even though she's a scientist.
Do they like beat each other with like clubs or just like with their hands? Or
I think they'll throw the clubs and stuff, and then they throw hands after that.
Like the way you describe the game sounds fun, but I think it might be more one of those games where it's more for like watching than actual playing. Cause
the golf, from what I remember, me and a buddy played a lot. It was pretty solid. It wasn't Tiger Woods PGA 03, or whatever at the time, but it was definitely solid golf, and it was fun. So just something to think about. If you see it cheap, it's cheap. I know it is for Xbox. It was like $4. So,
oh yeah, that's not too bad at all.
No.
Well, Charles, how about you? Got anything else to add to this? Not Outlaw Golf necessarily, but the topic.
Other weird fun games like Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Very different from
that's a fun game.
And maybe that could be my 2D element that I'm looking for. Maybe we could go top down.
Yeah.
Or whatever is that a top down or isometric view? Which one would that be?
I always get those two confused.
Well, isometric are kind of at an angle.
I think it's isometric.
It gives that like fake 3D before they could do 3D.
I think it's more isometric than top down. It's like top down, like you're Dragon Warriors, and but yeah, it's definitely isometric. That's a fun game. I could just play for hours.
Awesome. Well, my friends, it's going to be around that time, and Turf, I think I'm going to spare your voice right now because you are hacking up a lung. So, Charles, how do you feel about doing the closing remarks?
I guess I could do that.
All right, Turf, is that cool with you? All right.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up for those who are listening.
So, you've listened to us. If you like us, you can find more. We're downloadable on anywhere you can download a podcast: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and something else.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio. I can't remember. Tuned in.
Yep.
All right. We're on the Facebook at OPB Podcast.
Facebook.com/OPB Podcast.
Yes, there you go. I can't remember all this stuff. We're on the Twitters. If you want to Twitter with us, it's at Twitter at OPP Podcast. And if you want to send an email to Turf, who reads all the emails.
They come to my phone.
They come to his phone. Yeah, he comes to his phone.
All right.
It's
fancy.
OPP podcast at gmail.com. My mouth is not working right now, but
it's okay.
And there's more videos on one of these sites that I'm pointing to. One of them will be the right one.
Point to your left. They're always on your left.
That's my left. That's my left, I think. This thing is flipped, so it's hard to remember which side I'm pointing to. So that's left hand, this side. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, download, leave comments, emails. If you want to send us a letter in the mail. We don't have a PO box, so you can't. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, but and if you have like a thought, like what makes your perfect game, leave us a comment. We would love to read it and discuss it amongst ourselves, and maybe present it even next week when we have a new topic to talk about. So, all right, you boys, is there anything else you wanted to discuss before we say goodnight?
No, man, I'm good. I really enjoyed tonight. That was fun.
Yep, yeah, buddy. All right, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week with a fantastic new topic. I can't wait. And yeah, until then, take care of yourselves. See you soon.
See you guys later. Bye.
Later.